We recently did the 10 lowest Mayans MC rated episodes in terms of TV ratings, but guess what, guys? It's time to do the 10 highest rated Mayans MC TV ratings, and I can tell you this, there is no appearances from any episodes in Season 3, Season 4, or Season 5. This is primarily the Kurt Sutter experience, and let's dive in to numero 10. Which of course is episode 8 of season 1. This episode is called Ratachoo, 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 Ratachoo. It comes in with a whopping 1.22 rating. Now fun fact, this actually is a top 10 list, but there's 11 episodes in it, because guess what? One of them actually had a wee draw. Any guesses for what that is? Later on, I guess only time will tell. But of course, during this episode, Easy's past is continuing to haunt him, and Emily sets up the whole meet between, you know, the people that need to know, amigo. Come on. Arriba, arriba. The family members. Emily meeting up with Felipe and Easy Reyes. And things aren't really going well. But we're going to move into 9th place, guys. And that is, in fact, episode 9. And, of course, this episode, Easy and Angel, they get freed for jail. And Angel lays a wee beat down on Easy. And there's a snake as well. It's like, aha, he's a wee snake. And also Galindo decides to kill Davante. So this is an episode rating of a 1.23. It's literally a 0.01 increase from the previous episode. So I was never really a fan of Miguel killing Davante. I think Davante probably had a wee bit more time to go. And like the fact that he just killed this guy because he lied about his brother died. Like, that's pretty much it. Like I mean that. Like, your brother's dead. It's not like you killed him. I mean, he just lied of the way he died. For me, that's a wee bit extreme. Like, really extreme, but is what it is. Moving on to the next episode, though, which was, of course, in 8th place. We've got Season 1, Episode 7. We've got Cucaracha and slash Caraca. You know what, I tell you what, I much preferred the titles, the episode names under Elgin James than I did Kurt Sutter. I will say that. This episode did get a 1.29, and then we've got, you've got Letty in this episode alongside Coco as well. New secrets are brought to light, putting the MC at odds, damn it. You've got the odds. Oh, whoa. But the odds are all over, because moving in to 7th place, we have got the Season 1 finale, which drew a 1.31. The description is, the club has reason to celebrate, but big changes leave the future uncertain. And of course, the big point of this episode is we finally find out who killed Dita. And it's in fact Sam Crow original, Happy Loman. Redwood, damn it. Happy is the one we're introduced to him. Quinn, we've also got Halloran, the new Sam Crow prospect in there. Easy pledges his allegiance, I guess, to the Mayans. Now, obviously still a prospect, but he basically changes his sponsor to Bishop because blood's getting in the way between him and Angel. So, oh, hell yeah. And then that leaves us, guys, with the next episode. And can I get a drum roll, please, as we go into 6th position? We have got Episode 6, Gato Miss, and in this episode, he does a lot of like driving away in this episode, Easy, where he saves Santa Padre for getting in trouble with the police, and then he ends up getting battered for it. So yeah, Easy manages to escape, and even at this point, it's like, considering all he just did in this episode, there's no one questioning like whether or not this guy is in fact an informant. We have got episode 5 of season 1. Which was called Ooch/Opossum, which they had really weird episode titles, if I'm being honest, back in season 1. And also it was joint with season 2's premiere, El Blanque, which sadly is the only episode in season 2 to be on this list. And to let you in the wee secret, guys, the rest of these are all in season 1. Yes, the Mayans, literally from when it premiered, the ratings just nosedived, which isn't good for a show. I mean, there is similar shows that go down this sort of path, like Fear the Walking Dead. Of course, it started when The Walking Dead was probably at its peak. You had like a 10 point. Fear did like a 10.5. Now Fear's doing like 500,000. To be fair, with Mayans, it started at 2.53, and then now it's doing like 0.68s, 0.7s, which isn't good, but it's nowhere near the drop off that Fears had. Fears literally lost like 9.5 million viewers for the first episode, which is absolutely insane. But we have a joint at 5th place, moving on to 4th place. Talking of fours, it is episode 4 of season 1, which is Musilago Sots. Of course, in this episode, it did get a 1.53. This is the last episode on this list, is in fact in the ones, but it doesn't really surprise me that all these episodes are in actually season 1 of the Mayans. And at this point, we literally just had, it was like more Adelita stuff in this episode. And in my opinion, the show has massively improved since Sutter left. And I love Kurt Sutter, but I feel like he just went down a completely different path. With Mayans, like he just wanted it to be far more like cartel and rebel focused rather than actually on the Mayans. And I feel like once the show towards like the latter half of season 2, even though he was still in charge, like you had Chibs and the Fatos, and season 3 was a Mayan civil war, and season 4, of course, against the Suns. It's just so much better than season. I think season 1 for the most part is garbage. I feel like the whole who killed their mother and the happy reveal, I think that's really it, to be honest. Coming in next is episode 2. Comes in with a 2.01 rating. This one is called Escorpio / Desicio. In this episode, we see Galindo. He's going north and south of the border. The Mayans also seek answers from, well, basically, I think it's the Samoans at this point. But a 2.01, it's only the 3rd episode to ever sneak in to the 2 ratings. Will we see that in the final season? I doubt it. I actually think the final season won't even get into the episode 1. If I'm being honest, I don't think any of the episodes get above a 1, which is quite scary. Up next is episode 3 of the show, which is Abohan and Mohan. And of course, this episode we do get to see, like, I think Chucky's introduced in this episode. And then this is when Coco finds out about what Letty's doing in the online world, man. And the episode does end with him visiting prostitute, and it turns out the prostitute is his mother. But this rating, guys, for this episode did a 2.10, which is, I think if the Mayans average this, it'd be decent ratings. But what the problem is with the Mayans, it was a lot of Sons of Anarchy people tuning in, thinking, right, fuck, this is going to be good. And I'm not saying the Mayans ain't good, but if the Mayans start it the way it is now, I think they would still have good ratings. I think the problem is it started off like a completely different vibe, the Suns, that people just disappeared. And I get it, shows have to be their own, but when you're watching like Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul, you can tell they're the same universe. I feel like initially in this show, it felt like a completely different universe. Even though in the pilot, which we'll get to in a wee second, you do see the Suns and Packer, and to be fair to it, there is similarities, but I feel like in the first season it does feel like a different show, in my opinion. But a 2.10 for episode 3. But in at number 1, we do have the pilot, which was Pero Oko, where of course we kick off. We're doing the dresses. We've got Easy. He's a prospect, but he's also working for the feds. Damn it! Who killed their mother? We get flashbacks. We get a cameo for Gemma Taylor, but it did come in with a 2.53, and to this day it is the highest rated Mayans MC episode, and to be honest guys, I do not see it changing.